Stan Gibilisco here. The date, June 16th, 2014. The time, 5:15 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time from the Black Hills of South Dakota, or 6:15 Central Daylight Time from the south and eastern Minnesota region, with the radar centered on Minneapolis. Actually, it's somewhat south and west of Minneapolis, right where my little hand is there. You're looking at the composite loop and a whole bunch of warning boxes. Flash flood warnings are the green boxes. Severe thunderstorm warnings are the yellow boxes. Tornado warnings are the red boxes. My nephew alerted me to this event, possible evolving derecho with wind gusts of up to 80 miles an hour. Would imply sustained winds of 50 miles an hour. I have alluded to the fact when they talk about hurricane force wind gusts, that's kind of a meaningless concept. I mean, 80 mile an hour wind gust is pretty respectable wind, but a hurricane by definition has to have a sustained wind of 74 miles an hour or more, which would usually result in gusts of over 100 miles an hour. That's just a little aside. So when they call these derechos hurricanes of the prairie, they're usually exaggerating a little, although I have seen some thunderstorms which did reach Category 1 hurricane strength, and it's always possible in a derecho, especially at this time of year in this part of the country. That's always a definite possibility. Let's look at the Doppler radar. Now here is the radar right in the center of that ellipse. I believe it's in Bloomington, Minnesota, right around the airport there in Minneapolis-St. Paul. You always see red and green converging at the radar, almost always. Green indicates particles, precipitation, raindrops, snowflakes, dust particles moving towards the radar. Red away from the radar. But notice this widespread region of convergence between green and red down here south of Mankato, west of Albert Lea, Minnesota, and down into northern Iowa. The green indicates motion away from the radar, towards the radar. So that's a southerly wind flow here. Red away from the radar, a northerly wind flow here. So there's obviously a weather front of some kind here, but the fact that there's such a powerful northerly wind flow here and southerly wind flow here gives rise to the possibility of rotation, and that's probably why we're seeing these warning boxes. Notice these red warning boxes appear when the red and the green are in a converging pattern in the region. Up here near Mankato is an exception. There's apparently a tornado warning up there without any obvious Doppler convergence. But the interesting thing about all of this is that, my nephew, he's really into that kind of stuff. He's into storms like I am, I think. And he noticed, because he lives in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, that's over here, he's kind of on the lookout for a little later event tonight, and derechos do have that capability. Big thunderstorms may pop up in the afternoon and then dissipate in the evening, but derechos can evolve and maintain their strength through the night. I remember one in 1962 up in Alexandria, Minnesota, right up here. Came across from the Dakotas and charged into Alexandria at about 4:30 in the morning with 96 mile an hour wind gusts. I remember that very well. The sound that it made in that cabin we were staying at scared the crap out of our whole family. I remember that. Just the noise. It sounded like cats fighting in the attic. But anyway, this is a situation, with $50 size hail potential and high winds. You probably want to put your car in the garage if you got one, and keep yourself inside and away from windows. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time. So long.